Hello everybody, hello fantastic artists. I'm really excited to see you in my channel. This is Maria Grossbaum from Abysima Mixed Media Online School with a new tutorial. Look at these knobs. Many of you loved it so much, so why not? I'm going to show you how I've created them. But before we start, we need to do something about this cat. It's Simba. Simba loves to see me create. Simba is always involved in the process. Simba is always posing in front of the camera. Simba, please go away.
Simba, please, go. Go. Simba, let me work. Simba, please go away, please. I want to paint. People are waiting. Everybody's waiting. All YouTube is waiting for you to leave my working area. Oh, come on, Simba. You can't do this to me. I really want you to go. Simba, enough. Seriously, Simba, this is enough. Go. Oh, I know, I love your feet, but go. Okay, looks like he's back.
Okay, you know what? I'll just start and he will leave. I'm sure he's not gonna stay. Well, this is my model painting, and the inspiration was a rusty industrial surfaces with some strange knobs and some missing details, and something really heavy, not maybe very elegant, but still elegant. Beauty in ugliness in beauty. That's exactly what I like about mixed media, because each element, even if it's very ordinary, could become an inspiration. Okay, so the idea here is to use very accessible products, and I'm showing you here a watercolor that I'm using. It's 300 gram, 100% cotton. Now please, it's all good. If you don't have it, use anything you want. Could be any type of substrate. It could be canvas, could be paper, could be what else exists in the market, a wooden board, yeah. But then don't forget to apply gesso. I'm also showing you watercolors, because watercolors are quite common. So I'm using a regular type of watercolors, and also metal watercolors, and also gesso. Okay, I know even if you don't paint regularly, you most likely you have what I'm going to use. There is water, there is also of course a brush, and I showed you toilet paper. I'm sure you have a toilet paper. Everybody have toilet paper. You don't have to be an artist to have a toilet paper. Okay, so let's dive right into the process. So with the thick flat brush, I just squeezed some amount of white gesso onto the watercolor paper and spreading it all over the place, mainly in the central part. Okay, as you can see on the top and in the bottom, I'm not using it. Now, gesso, as many of you know, is a substance that we use to prime canvases, or if you don't like your painting, you can cover it with white gesso and then you can repaint it again. In our tutorial, we are not going to use gesso in a traditional way. As many of you know, gesso contains glue, and this is excellent. And that's why I have a toilet paper, right? Toilet paper is an additional component for building an interesting background. In other words, I'm gluing toilet paper onto the watercolor paper with gesso using a thick flat brush. Alright, the background is ready and it looks cool to me. And here is an important point. Whatever I'm doing, it's a result of my previous experimentations. If you want to do it in a different way, please go ahead. Okay, you don't have to do exactly the same composition that I just showed you. But If you like what I'm doing, you are more than welcome to follow my exact steps, and then once you know the process, you could totally experiment and create your own artwork with your own composition. Okay, so right now with an opposite side of brush, I'm marking circles where I'm going to have the knobs. Very simple, very straightforward. Although here's my tip. I suggest not to be very symmetrical, okay? Try to create an interesting composition. Mark knobs where you think they will look interesting enough. Symmetrical composition could be also cool, but to my personal taste, I prefer to have a little bit of a dissonance in composition, some kind of disbalance. Okay, next step. Just tear off a little bit of toilet paper and create some kind of a bullet. Roll it between your fingers, then press lightly on the marked area and then apply with the brush a generous amount of gesso in order to glue it to your surface. Okay? Easy peasy. Yep, just like this. It's imperfect. It's not perfectly rounded. It looks strange, but that's exactly how I like it. I'm against perfection. Alright, fantastic. Let's repeat the same step again. And this time, watch me doing it again. Don't miss all these important steps that I'm taking. And the most important thing is to apply really generous amount of gesso because you want to make sure that your knob is really glued to the surface. Alright? Well, I speeded up the video because you know exactly where I am and exactly what I'm doing. If you're not sure, go back and take a look again how I create the knobs. But one more thing, for my convenience, I squeezed gesso to my palette for my convenience. It's way easier rather than squeeze it directly from the bottle. Because I don't want any unexpected accidents. Well, accidents that are always unexpected. Well, I don't want any accidents to happen. Fantastic. I love my composition. Now let's look at the empty areas on the model painting. Just imagine that some knobs, they were so old they fell off. So let's create these empty areas, these empty circles. And I'm doing it again with an opposite side of brush. Okay, so if you feel that your composition is not balanced enough or something is missing, adding these empty rounds is really great element that will make your composition look complete. So what do you think? I think that looks quite interesting. I will add just a couple of more. And here is another tip for you. If you don't exactly know where to apply specific elements to your to add to your composition, rotate your working area. This will give you another angle and new ideas. Well, I'm happy with my composition, although I think these lines are going to make it look even more interesting. So you're more than welcome to rotate your working area, experiment, and add different things. And of course, and I'm sure many of you have it, as an impatient and very impulsive artist, when I get the moment, when I get into this creative mood, I want things to, run really, really quickly because I'm so eager to continue. So I'm using a hair dryer in order to speed up my process. So please do the same if you are in the same creative, urge. Ta-da! All right, now we reached a painting part, and as you can see, I'm using rusty, brownish, bluish, patina-ish colors. That's why I like this set of koi watercolors, and it's going to be in list of supplies. It's an excellent set. It has all kind of metal paints, and I'm using a regular watercolors that don't have any metal effect. Well, koi is wonderful, but this particular set has very bright colors and it's excellent for rust. The orange is really bright, although and metals are really beautiful, but we need some more, like earthy colors. Okay, so earthy colors are also great, and any watercolor set has this type of colors. If you don't have watercolors, you are more than welcome to use any water-based colors. I'm going to talk about substitution very soon. Meanwhile, I just want to say that try to express yourself artistically by mixing different colorful tones on the surface. Try whatever looks good to you. Try earthy colors, metal colors, but for this particular composition, rust and patina, they look really great. But you could go to completely different direction. It's totally up to you. I'm giving you full creative freedom, although there are a couple of important tips. I really like applying water before applying paints because water helps paints to travel on the surface of your artwork. I'm going to speed up a little bit video so that my process looks visually more engaging. Okay, just take a look how beautifully the colors are being blended with water, traveling and intermixing with each other. It is always so satisfying to watch it, and when I edit the video I really like to see everything being so speeded up, because it's just very kind of like soothing and feels good. But I do understand that you might have some frustrations by this point. Don't get frustrated. Keep applying different colors, and here comes my second tip. More colors you apply, more interesting result is. All right, because when your color is being is composed with different colorful tones, the result looks more impressive. So I really encourage you to experiment with it. Another tip: it is important to remember that when colors are dry, they look more pale. So whatever looks interesting to you when it's wet, sometimes the result is disappointing when colors are dry. Okay, so more you experiment, more familiar you become about behavior of the paints. So I'm giving you main paints that I'm using, but again, you could use anything you like. So it's for the brown, it's mostly burnt sienna. For blue, it's mostly reflect or ultramarine blue, and very bright orange. I am sorry, I don't know its name. All right. And now when the painting is still wet, it's hard to see metal effect, but once it's dry, it's going to be there. Okay. It's also a good idea to once in a while change direction and angle of your working surface in order to let colors bleed. All right. Again, I'm very impulsive, and again, I'm very impatient. Therefore, I'm going to use hair dryer to speed up the whole process. Okay, so now it's dry, it looks more pale. I used the hot air just a little bit. I still have some water underneath the bullets, the knobs, which is totally fine. Now let's take a look again at my beautiful model painting, and now I think it's a good time to apply more orange for more rust and to start applying metal colors to give it a look of metallic surface. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but take a closer look at the background. Now with the colors, it looks so much more visible, and I really like it. I think it's really, like it talks to me. It has already a character, and it also, its composition looks, I don't know, more logical, kind of. Okay, so now let's talk about substitutions. What could be used for this work? You might not have these exact sets of watercolors. So here are the metal paints that I'm going to use. And if you don't have it, this is another cool set of metal water-based colors. If you don't have those, you could use any metal acrylic paints. Or like this one, for example. This one is by Golden and it's excellent. Okay, so tempera, gouache, acrylics, inks, everything works. Just experiment. And of course, you can use different types of paints on the same artwork as long as they are water-based. So for achieving a rusty effect, I suggest to use any type of orange colors, dark or bright, brownish tones, and blue tones. So when blue mixed with all these warm tones, it gets this beautiful greenish look, and it looks kind of like rusty patina. Okay. Okay, I'm quite satisfied with the background. I think it's a good moment to make my knobs, my bullets, to look more prominent, because technically they are our focal point. So I'm applying dark brown tone on them. But hey, there is a hidden point in it, okay? Eventually I want my buttons, bullets, knobs to look metallic, like they're made out of metal. And metal colors look much better on the dark background rather than light. So my final idea is, after this dark brown dries, to apply on top some metal colors, maybe just on the very, very top. Well, I will experiment with this, and soon I'll be there. But first I need to let them dry. And while I'm waiting for the buttons, for the knobs to dry, I'm also adding golden metal paint to the background. And as I mentioned before, it looks much better on the darker surface. Yeah, I know it is hard to see the metal effect, but it is there. Well, by that moment, I think my work is technically completed, except for the last touch of the metal paint on the top of the buttons, the knobs. But at the moment I'm just adding some, colors here and there, orange for more rusty look, and some areas I prefer to darken, some area I prefer to lighten. But if you if you watched me applying colors, you probably noticed that I'm not creating like distinct edges. All my colors are blended with each other. Okay, I mean that there is always a gradient. One color is organically blends into another. This is my personal approach. That's how I like it. Although I do encourage to experiment with this, okay, because we are all different. We have completely different understanding about the beauty. Okay, so yes, I think my work looks almost complete. I'm just again drying it a little bit more before before the final touches. All right, it's all dry, and now I have on my brush quite a lot of golden metal paint. I almost don't use any water, and I'm applying on the top of the knobs golden accents. Okay, I want the base of the buttons to look dark, to stay dark, and the bottom is with gold. This way I get like they look more prominent and they look more metallic. Well, recently I use quite a lot of golden paints and gold leaf. Maybe because my cat is a red hair and he inspires me to use this kind of colors? I don't know. Well, I'm just kidding. So technically my work is completed. I'm just adding a few more touches of gold and this is it. I really hope that you enjoyed this class. There is going to be a competition in my Facebook group. It's called Abissima Open Studio Group. Join talented, fantastic, inspiring community to participate in this contest. So take a look. I think it's great. I think I like it a lot. I think this work is, I don't know, it's just different, it's different, but it's so much fun to paint it. Take a look at the original painting. It totally has the same look and feel, okay? I had really great time working on it. Now, it is very important that you put likes on this video because it really helps to promote my channel, and I'm very interested in creating more free tutorials for you. Also, take a look at list of supplies underneath this video. Join my Facebook group. Join my online school. There are paid and free classes. So any information you need about mixed media, I'm here for you. I'm always happy to inspire. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much, my dear red hair cat Simba. Thank you, Academy. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you again.